Okay. Well, you guys, welcome, welcome. I am so thrilled to have you guys here tonight. I have got Team Triple Threats call tonight with an amazing host, and I am excited to welcome Team Epic on this call as well. So thank you, girls, for coming on. I just want to go over a couple of quick announcements for kind of the coming week. We have a clean week starting next Monday the 12th. I can't believe it's already the middle of March. Clean week next week, as well as we are actually starting up a new prep week group that we're going to be able to kind of use as a holding cell for people as they come in as new challengers. We're going to try having an actual group for just prep week so that everybody can kind of get in there, get their tasks taken care of. We can really help people a little bit more one-on-one, specifically for the program they pick. That's also starting on the 12th with our next challenge group wave starting on the 19th. And then the final week of the month, we are going to have a coaching kind of sneak peek, coaching opportunity kind of information call on the 28th, and we're offering two calls. We've got a 1 o'clock Eastern time and an 8 p.m. Eastern time. Miriam Hilton is going to do our 1 o'clock. I'm going to do the 8 o'clock, and we've got about 4 people for each time slot that are just going to share their journey in coaching and what it means to them, and just get just help people to know that it is a good thing to share their journey and really kind of look at this as a ministry. So with that being said, I kid you not, Tara, when I say this is such a God thing, because you inspire me beyond belief. Like, I don't know when I started stalking you, but I caught you on Instagram. Like, I don't even know if it was one of those people like watched, find a top coach that you like and, that fits your vibe. And so I don't know how I caught you on Instagram, but I started seeing that we were reading the same stuff and listening to the same podcast. I'm like, okay, who is this chick? And then I saw you had 3 kids and that your husband's on fire for the Lord and you're on fire for the Lord. And it just, you just drew me in, girl. So I say all the time that God is in the details, and I'm just so excited to hear what you have to bring, because I know as far as my team of coaches, we walk that fine line, if that's a good way to put it, of being distracted by the shiny, sparkly things of Beachbody and the ministry side, that we really want to help people on their journey of not only getting healthy in their bodies and their minds, but really going deeper in their purpose that Christ has for them. And so I'm just so honored and so thrilled to have you on here. A little bit about Tara. Now, is it Bialek?
Yes.
Okay, I was so afraid I was going to slaughter your last
name. Oh, don't even.
Tara Bialek, she is number 58 in Beachbody, you guys. Like, so she's like up there. I'm just saying, like, she's, stalker material, right? 15-star, Success Club 10 legend, 4-time elite. She's been coaching for 4.5 years, married to her husband, TJ, for 11, and has 3 of the cutest kids I've ever seen in my life. Like, your boys are just the cutest. And your daughter, how old is your daughter? My daughter asks all the time.
9.
Okay, see, mine's 10. So she's like, Mom, how old is her daughter? And I said, well, I don't know. So, and this woman is a warrior, and she chases after the things of the Lord. She and her husband just started this new awesome is it called Truth Empowers? Ministry that she's doing on Facebook. And so bring it, girl. Like, I am just so thankful for you giving of your time, taking away time from your family. I know it's late on the East Coast. It's late here too. And I thank you for doing this for us.
Of course. I'm so excited to be here, guys. And I really appreciate you, Cindy, bringing me on. So, I'm just going to kind of share with you guys how I started my story, but then get into kind of how my day looks, and even when I was working full time, what my day looked like and how I kept it. I say I kept it organized. I did as much as I could, right? Because we all have that. It's hard. It's really difficult to balance everything. And I don't really believe in balance. I think it's harmony, where you're trying, you have your routine down, but yeah, you have to have that. You have to give yourself grace through the day. But when I started coaching, so I was, my kids were 5 and under, and I was a teacher and my husband's a teacher. So it was August. I was going back to work and we were praying for a miracle. We were praying for financial gain because we were praying for my husband to find a second job. Basically, we're like, God, I don't know what you're doing, but we need something because I took some time off that wasn't paid for to have my kids. So like 6 months at a time type of thing. And we were praying and God just like rest. So we were like, okay, we can't really rest. We don't have time for that. But we obviously listened. And my husband applied to all these places like Home Depot, and like we have like a delivery grocery service where we live to be like to deliver UPS, all these places. And he didn't get a call back. We're like, what? Like he's overqualified. So what's going on here? And it was like definitely this door opened for me and I wasn't looking for it. So I heard from a friend about coaching. She was asked to be in a challenge group. And I'm like, oh, it sounds kind of cool. Cause I was doing P90X. I bought it off of Craigslist. And moms at school were like, Terry, you look so fit now. What are you doing? And I always got like embarrassed to talk about it. I'm like, oh, I'm just working on at home. It's just this little thing. And, but I knew there was a big need to serve other women in this way. I just didn't know how to do that. I never wanted to come across showy and just like I knew everything because I didn't. So I just kind of was like, hey, I'm doing this DVD thing at home. I have some that you can borrow type of thing. Cause I also had like I had old school ones too, like Tybo and stuff. And, and then, so when I found out about this coaching thing, I just went on YouTube and I just like watched some videos and I found my coach, Mindy Wender, who is like this normal mom, just talking in her kitchen about coaching and how it changed her family's life. And I'm like, whoa, sounds really cool. She's normal, just like me. Well, why couldn't I do something like this? Now, I didn't think that I could do it to the capacity she did it. I never had that vision for myself. I had the vision of, well, I just want to, like, if she could do that, then maybe I could just like make $200 a month and buy some groceries with that, like partial of my grocery money or whatever. So I was thinking very small because I never dreamed big. I never, I also have to say this, like, I had a strong faith, but I just didn't know what God was capable of, right? And I didn't fully trust him in the beginning of my journey. So I was scared, obviously fearful, and I just said, hey, you know what? Let me just try and see what happens. If I could just use this as a platform to serve other women, then that would be all I want to do. And as I jumped in, my husband thought I was crazy. He wasn't he was like, okay, but he wasn't like, this is great. Like he didn't really get it. He thought I was playing on Facebook, all of that, which, it's not the case. But, I think when I jumped in, I just started connecting with people that I worked with first. I was like, hey, I'm doing this challenge. I didn't even know what a challenge group was, but I said, hey, this is how I learn. I learn by doing. I am a hands-on person. If someone told me to read something and learn that way, like that's not how Tara learns. I need to just dive in. And if I screw it up, I screw it up, but I can then just fix it as I go. Right. And I said that. I remember doing my first challenge and saying, hey, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I never have done this before, but hey, if we could just support each other and check in and like share recipes and like do that, then let's do it. And I remember not even knowing what to say about a challenge pack. And I just remember just like researching and watching YouTube videos of like how to talk to people. And, and I just was like, I just have to be myself and not try to put on this big presentation. Right. But I have to say GoPro, although it's very network marketing, that's even a word. It really helped me with what to say. And like, more of the timing of things, like of, how to follow up and and scheduling a time to follow up and stuff like that. So it really connected with me on that level. But Go Giver was my first personal development book, and that changed everything. It was like, okay, Tara, it's not about you. It's not about you making money. It's not about you feeding your family, although that was very important. It's about let's just serve others without expecting anything in return. And then I was like, wow, if I could just serve 2 more people every day. So I always did more, right? I always said, okay, let me connect with 2 other people tonight. Let me just compliment 2 other people tonight. That's how I ran my business. I always wanted to do a little bit extra because I knew that would help me grow faster. And I wanted to grow fast. So I did. I grew really fast and I was all in. And let me tell you guys, my first year, I was all in and I was like tunnel vision. And it didn't serve, it served me in business, but it didn't serve me. I had adrenal fatigue. I suffered all these things because I was so exhausted. But then after that, I learned. So I wanted to share what I've learned and how it created this harmony in my business where I have joy in my business. My faith and my relationship with God is as strong as it's ever been. I just feel, and I go into my business every day feeling so blessed that God opened this door for me that I can't wait to share it with others. I just feel like it's such a blessing, not only to help people in wellness, but to be that light in someone's life that they see God through you. I've just recently too, it's been happening. I'm seeing the fruit, right? I see my coaches that didn't believe, they weren't believers, change and become believers and ask questions or be curious about it. That has been happening because of stepping into God's plan for my life, right? So how can I not invite? How can I not share this business, share my challenge groups, share our community with people? I have to. It's a calling. God created us to serve others, and this is the platform we're on for a reason. So we have to use it. So when I started this business, hold on, let me just let my dog in this room because she'll be scratching. Come on, George. Okay, so when I started this business, I was a Christian, obviously, but I grew up Catholic, and a lot of my friends are, and I don't have a lot of Christian friends that believe, I don't have a lot of, friends that really go to church or any of that, just my church friends, right? So a lot of people I grew up with didn't know that about me. Because my husband and I came to believe on in our 20s, okay, together. So this was the first time I really felt like I could share my faith on a platform like this. I know it sounds crazy, but I was like, it's almost easier sharing it with strangers than with your best friend, right? So that's how it started. And then I just became more comfortable sharing. And obviously it's not an easy thing to share when you're a new believer. And at that point, I wasn't that new. I was 10 years, but still no one around me. I kind of secluded myself because I didn't want to keep going down that same, road. So it was the first time I could really share my faith. And I was just dude, I'm doing this because this is why I'm here. Yes, I'm here to help people change their lives in a health standpoint, but it's so much more than that, right? So, and it's crazy, how my friends actually started to ask me questions after, because they would see something I posted or come to church with me. And it was just those things where I wasn't plowing it down their, I wasn't at their door, hey, you need to come to church with me. Come on. They were just seeing little things and seeing me change. So that was really cool. But so coaching changed a lot, obviously. But one thing that was so crucial in my business was, and if you guys listen to the National Wake Up Call, I did my Miracle Morning call, and it was on this morning routine, but it just evolved even since then. So, when I was working as a teacher, I would have to get up super early. And I always had the morning routine down because I knew if I didn't spend time with God and I didn't I would have nothing to offer anyone. Not to say, I'm not saying that it's all like rituals and check the boxes. No. It was like I needed to grow my relationship with Christ in order to speak life into people. Like I couldn't be fake. I couldn't not do that. Right. So I woke up in the morning super early and I would spend quiet time with God. And then I would read the Bible and listen to personal development after that. And now personal development didn't come right away because I didn't believe in it. It's like, oh no, I got this. I'm not doing any business personal development or like self-help baloney. I got God. I'm good. But those books like the Go Giver or Go Pro, I started to read probably like 2 months in because I needed it. I needed some skills, a skill set, and Go Pro helped me with that. And then Go Giver was just really good because it helped me take myself out of the situation where I wasn't offended anymore. I was like, this is a blessing. And if someone doesn't want it, that's okay. They will someday, I'm doing my part. And, I still love on them if they say no or whatever and move on. And what's the cool thing about it? People notice that. Like, they'll be like, oh, I said no to you, but you're still like commenting on my stuff and like, you're still around. Yeah, because it's not about that. I always say like, you're going out to build friendships and build your community. Like you're not going out there to sell a challenge pack, right? But that will come. It will come because of what you're doing. And people know that and people could sense that. So after my personal development in the morning, that's when I started working. And I would get half the power hour done in the morning. And it was adding to my network because I was so afraid of not having enough people. Like that stuck out in my head ever since day one. So I always expanded my network. Jojo, no, you can't go in there and sit. And then I started conversations. I always started conversations because that really was the key to my business, is that starting conversations and building relationships. And then during my lunchtime is when I would invite and follow up and all of that. So I would kind of finish it during my lunch hour. Then at night, I would just check in, comment and like on some of my posts, the posts that the girls that were on my list for the week, because I always made a list on Sunday night for the week. Always use a list, because if you don't, you're going to not know where you're going, what you're doing, and you're going to be scattered, and you're going to be on the phone all day, and you're going to feel like you got nothing done, and then you're going to miss out on your family life, and your husband's going to have a problem with it too. So work from a list, and that's what I did. So I would connect with those people. I would be on their pages, intentionally liking and commenting on their stuff. I was just always there. So when I did do a post, they would be like, oh, what is that? Or when I did invite them in a private message, they were like, whatever you're doing, yeah, like that sounds really cool. Tell me more, because they knew that I cared, right? So that's how my morning routine went. Still to this day, still get up early, even though I work from home. I have to, because once these kids get up, that's it. Like could have all the plans in the world, but my time with God wouldn't happen. It really wouldn't. And I know it's the most important to run this business, and to do anything in life. But, so now I get up early, do the same thing. And I still work in the morning until the kids wake up. And I find that if I don't do that, I am cranky and I'm on edge. And then when the kids wake up, I'm like impatient and, all of that. And I don't want that for them. And I don't want it for me. So I used to also, and I still do it, like sometimes when like the kids are out playing and I'm home after school or whatever, and I do have some time, I'll hop on my phone and just get some work done. And that's okay. But you want to really make sure it's not just to hop on your phone and search Facebook. Be intentional with your business. You own your own business. And it's really like, and this is really hard. I don't want to offend anyone, but I think it's really selfish when we take time away from our family and we're just playing on Facebook. We're not actually doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like your husband or your significant other or your family is going to have a real hard time believing in your business if you're spending all day on your phone and you really aren't showing anything, right? So the only way to really show progress in your business is to be intentional, create business hours, and work hard during those business hours. So you guys probably know Michael Folsom. She is my success partner, and we grew in this business together. And she always says, go out there during your business hours, during your power hour, or whatever you want to call it, and make sure people know that you care and that you are on their pages. Like you are on Facebook or Instagram during that time. So during that time, she'll be liking and commenting on the people on her list, on their posts, showing that she cares, asking them questions, interacting on social media. So she's interacting. She's making sure she's commenting and liking underneath her post and what people are saying, or if she asked a question. And she makes sure that, and we both do that, we put out valuable stuff. So I always say, like, when you're creating your post, it has to be something of value. This is what I say, like when I'm scrolling, I always, and I look back at my stuff and I'm like, was that serving anyone? Or was that just saying me, 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 me? And no one's going to connect with me by it. Then I'll erase it. Like I'll just delete it if I don't think it was great. So don't just post a post. I always like to have fun on my page because that's me. I think I'm kind of funny. So I like to share that, right? Faith, obviously. So something that maybe I read in personal development or that I was reading in the Bible and I had a revelation or whatever, I share that because that's what we're called to do. If we have revelations or we learn something, you share that. That's why you have that revelation. It's not just for ourselves, right? And then you always want to share a call to action of some sort, not all in the same day, but I would say in the same week. Like you want to have that value, that fun, the call to action, so your purpose. And obviously your family or whatever else that, you have going on in your life. So making sure that it's not fitness, tiny part of your life. Yes, you're a Beachbody coach, but that's not, that's just a part of you. There's so much more to you, and people are going to connect with the other things over you being a health and fitness coach. And that's how you build relationships, So I would rather reach out to someone and connect with them on a personal level and share like a scripture or share a recipe or share a PD book that I'm reading or share, some, I don't know, just compliment them than anything else. The other stuff will come. And the invites I enjoy doing now. I'm not scared of it anymore because I know that I truly care about the person and and they know that same thing. And you know what? Yes, there are people that ignore you. There are people that, say no, and that's okay. You still love them. You move on. Love them and move on. Bless and release, right? And they'll come and you'll be surprised. Something you post will hit them at the right time and it will happen. They'll reach out to you. Another thing that I wanted to say is share your story. So not only your story with Beachbody, but your story, like who you are. Share your testimony. Share like what God's done in your life. Share your faith and don't be afraid. Because who's going to connect with you? People that you would connect with in real life, right? Like, it's just crazy. Once you start sharing who you are and like your story and about things that really you love and that are important to you, the people that you really want to join your tribe do. The people you really want to hang out with, like on a Zoom, do. And, you know, you'll vibe with them. They'll do better. They'll want to, you know, be a part of this community. They'll be more successful, all of those things. What else did I want to say? Oh, okay. One majorly important part of this. Pray over your business. Like, it is like the first year of my business, I didn't. I was too busy. I didn't pray over my business. And, you know, I was exhausted and it really took a toll on my health. So I definitely recommend to do that first thing. Pray over your business. Pray that God, you know, opens doors and sends people your way. I do that all the time. I pray before I start inviting. You know, I pray for the people I'm talking to. I pray for my challengers. Like, just become a prayer warrior, you know, because guess what? Like, God can do more than you can do. So, you know, I'd rather put it on his shoulders than mine, right? So I just think that's so powerful and such a missing piece. I don't know if you guys saw the War Room, but yeah, I just recently saw it. I don't know why I waited so long. And like, that was so powerful to me. Like, just, you know, and it really hit me like, Tara, why aren't you being more proactive about praying, not only over your family, not only over, you know, your friends or your community or people at church, but like the people you're talking to and your challengers and your coaches and your team and your whatever. Like, obviously it's like the most important thing. Okay. So, so here's the thing. I kind of wanted to, communication, another thing I wanted to share too. Really important if you are married, or maybe you're a single mom or whatever, but it's important to talk to whoever you're living with, your family, about this business. I didn't in the beginning, and he had no clue what I was doing. Again, he thought I was playing on Facebook. So, like, for example, he was like, well, every night you're working. Like, what about, you know, our time or whatever? And I'm like, okay, our time, we're watching like baseball. Like, I really like that. No, but he does, like, he likes for me to pay attention or to be around, whatever. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we'll spend time and it'll be our night. But I need to do this because I know this is important for our family. And he was like, game, like that. He's like, yes, yeah, that's totally fine. But we really like had to have that conversation, because otherwise I'm like, I could work all the time, you know, but that's not good for our marriage. That's not good for, you know, my family. It's not good for my brain to not be turned off and have normal, you know, time. My dog is psycho right now. But even in my husband, another thing was like, this is so weird. Like, he used to hate when I was on my phone in the car. And I'm like, why? You're driving. Like, it's like a perfect time. I'm not bothering anyone and I'm working. But like, that was just his thing. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, like, he's like, you know, I really hate it. You know, the kids are in the back and they're crying and you're on your phone and like, it's like a hot mess. I'm like, okay, I get it. And, you know, he's also helped me with a lot of things, like around the house, because when I was working, I couldn't do everything. So he, you know, started doing laundry and helping me there. So it was like, you have to have that communication and it has to be open and show him what you're doing. I put my husband on Facebook so he can see, because he was on Facebook. I'm like, so I signed him up. I'm like, now you can actually see what I'm doing. It's not all fun and games. I'm actually talking to people, you know, and I would definitely make him a part of it, because I do believe this is a family business and it's not just for us. This is going to change your family's life. And it's important for them to be a part of it. So if your kids, like, bring them to Super Saturdays if you can. I really want to bring my daughter to Summit sometime, but I know how crazy it is. Like, it's just a lot, right? So we'll see about that. She might have to be a little bit older, but have your kids be a part of it. Let them see your challengers. And, I had my daughter in the Challenge Tracker app when we did
Did she lock up? Are you thinking of double time? Uh-oh, did we lose her? Oh no! Is she locked up or am I locked up? It's her. It's Tara. Tara. Oh no! Uh-oh, Ashley, you're sharing your screen, girl. Hold on. We got all sorts of wacky happening here. Hold on. Okay, I am not down to technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, and we lost Tara. I bet she'll log back in. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. She'll hop back on. You guys, seriously, and too, while she hops off, this opportunity, you guys ask her questions. Like, I want you guys to really, like, don't be afraid to ask her those hard questions. Like, I've kind of got a couple of my own that I want to ask her too about, how do you balance it? How do you not feel creepy? And that's my biggest thing. I don't want to be creepy salesperson to people. I really want people to see this as, serving them and helping them. And, there she is. I was very sad for a moment. It's okay.
So we lost power.
Oh no!
We have a big storm. It came back on, but we have a big storm, and it's bad. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. I thought you had a brain fade where you couldn't think of the program. I was like, uh-oh, she might have lost power again.
Did I? Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
double time?
Yeah, double time. That was it. It was so much fun. They loved it. Loved it.
So much fun.
So, so keeping your family involved and making sure you have open communication with your spouse or whoever you're living with, even your kids too, because they're going to see, here's the thing. It is important to put your phone away. So I would definitely recommend, if you are working or even if you're not, and you do have children, and they come home from school or whatever at 3:30, 4 o'clock, put your phone away from 4 to 8 or whatever. No one is going to not be able to do anything without you. Your challengers can wait, and here's the thing, what you're teaching your team and your challengers is that you're a normal person and that they can't expect you to be around all the time. And then they actually think that they could and they see that, then they're gonna be like, I'm never doing that. I can't do that. I can't be on my phone. I don't want to be on my phone all day. I don't want to take time away from. So I think it's a really important thing, and it's really hard if you're in the habit of always being on it. I mean, sometimes turning your phone, you might have to turn your phone off. You might have to have someone take it. You might have to put it in, away, whatever. It's worth it. The business isn't going to fall apart. And if people can't wait for your response for 3 hours, I mean, come on. Then you really don't want to work with them. Just being honest. Oh, it's for sure an addiction. For sure. That's why with my kids, I took the iPads and stuff away. And because they were just getting crazy. And I'm like, the behavior is awful. They're just getting mad at games. I'm like, this is not cool. And I know that it is an addict. I was addicted for a long time. So I get it. So yeah. But I don't know. I just kind of wanted to take any questions if anyone had questions, or if you wanted it, you can ask me anything. I'm an open book.
You are so great. Like I love, and I want to take time for questions too, but I just love your heart because you've touched on so many things I've been talking to my team about anyway, about just looking at it differently, because I think it is very easy to feel like you have to be available all the time, or you have to constantly be doing something, and it's just an easy thing, especially if you're a people pleaser, which I tend to be. You feel like you have to be there for people all the time. And I finally had to tell my family, I said, we have to establish a no phone zone, and you have to hold me to it, because I can't not look. Like, it's horrible and it's hard to admit, but you have to be okay saying that. And, and I loved what you said about it being a family business. The last couple weeks, like, that is what God has really been sharing with me, is that this is so much more than just business. This literally is raising up a legacy. And what kind of legacy do we want to leave? And my husband and I have talked about it. And I'm like, I don't want my kids thinking that it's normal to communicate with their friends through a phone. I would like to be able to look them in the eyes and have conversations. And, it's caught, not taught, right? And even just eating healthy and cooking. My daughter has started cooking with me, and it's just, there's so many cool things that come from this family business model, if that's what you want to call it, because it's just so much bigger than that. And I love what you said, and it made me feel good to know that your first year was psychotic, because my first 2 years, I was psycho. I had such television that my poor husband, like, if I said the word beach body, it was like the mistress in our house. And I just thought, what have I done? Like, what have I done? And I don't want that for any of my new coaches, I don't want to set that tone. And so I just thank you for touching on that, because I think that's so vital. The communication piece, not balance, because balance is not a thing, but harmony. I love that you just find the harmony, and that it is a part of your life, but it's not your whole.
Yes.
It's beautiful. So
true.
It's so good. So I'll open up. Let's see here. Okay, so Coach Holly, she says, what does your day look like now without working outside the home? So you're probably working more.
So I do. But so what I do is I wake up early. I do the same morning routine. And then I get my kids off. Well, I have two that go. Well, two are in elementary and one's in preschool. So we have shorter days, but they all go at the same time. I come home and I work. So sometimes I have a couple errands to run, that type of thing. But I usually work in like blocks of, I would say 2 hours. So I'll do a 2-hour block. Then I'll have to go pick up my son. And then we spend time together. And then I might do like an hour in the afternoon. Like, sometimes he'll fall asleep and nap, or sometimes he'll go outside and play. Whatever that is, like, you can usually find an hour, sometimes a half an hour at a time in the afternoon. And then at night, not every night. Some nights I do calls, not often, because I find that I'm exhausted. Like, once I get going, I'm fine, but I want to be my best. And my best is usually in the morning. I'm more of a morning person. So I try to do calls in the morning. With like one-on-ones and stuff like that. Or at lunchtime because I have coaches at work, so they can hop on the phone at lunchtime or whatever. But that's usually my day. So some nights I work, some nights I don't. But the nights I don't work, I always do like a last check-in. It takes me like 5 minutes where I check in with my challengers, make sure no one's like emergency messaging me for something, I hope that answered her question.
Sorry, that's great. Sorry, I was muted and I had all sorts of weird stuff with my stuff. And it is funny that you talked about the car time. My husband has a thing with the car too. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's so funny. I'm like, honey, we're not doing it. We've got a 2-hour drive to Grand Rapids. Like, let's take advantage of this time. I can get so much done. I want you to talk to me. And then we don't talk about anything. Like, it cracks me up. So funny. And thank you for the advice on GoPro. So for those of us that don't know what GoPro is, like, what is that? You said that's a great, like, skill builder to help you kind of know.
Yeah. So it's It's by Eric Worre. He's a network marketing professional. I had no clue how to sell anything to anyone. And it just gives you the tips of like, okay, so when to use tools like videos, right? So I always, when I go through the invitation process, you know, I usually ask people questions like their goals or where do they see themselves in 30 days. I also ask them like what they struggle, what's their biggest struggle. Mm-hmm. Usually it's nutrition. Right. And then usually, like, this is what I learned from GoPro is I would say, you know, I'd love to share more information. I think this would be a great fit for you. I think, you know, the accountability is what you're lacking, and you're also, you struggle with nutrition. So I know that our meal plans are going to be like perfect. So let me send you over a video, and I create like videos of what a challenge group is or Beachbody on Demand. Like I take them through that so they could really see it. And then I always set up a time where we talk. So that's what I learned from GoPro. It's like, okay, when I send you over this video, when do you think you can watch it? And they say, oh, I can watch it today. Great. I'm going to connect with you later tonight or tomorrow morning. It just is so much better than just saying, hey, I'm going to send you some information and then I'll catch up with you later this week. Or let me know when you read it or watch it, because they're not going to let you know unless they're super excited. And, you know, like us, we forget. We just go on with our daily life. Like, you know, I get stuff all the time from like, hey, did you look into that lipstick that I sent you? I'm like, you know, I don't even have time to like do anything. So when they remind me of it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do it right now. You know, that type of thing.
That's great. That's great advice. And
so I think it's a great book, but just when you're reading it, know that it's like, not everything pertains to us because we are on a different level for network marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's more of a relationship.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And then Go Giver. I've heard of that. Who is the author on that?
Bob Berg. He has a whole, like, it's Go Giver sells more. And then the last one is something like Get Over Yourself or something like that. They are so good. Yeah. So good.
Good. I love like personal development. That has been such a huge thing. Miracle Morning was a game changer, like life changer. Because I've always been a night owl, and to just like take that time in the morning, my days are notably different when I do not have my quiet time with the Lord, and that's when I do my workout. Like that's when I get in all my vitals, kind of. Yeah. And my kids know. They're like, "Did you sleep in this morning, Mom?" Like, because something's different about you today. Maybe we could start over.
Go back to bed.
Go back to bed, Mom, or please go talk to God because. So that's so great. Does anybody else? Let me see the chat. I don't see anything else. Ooh, Melinda's got one good. What do you got?
First off, thank you for your time. I appreciate the time you're spending with us. It's nighttime, so you're past your expiration. So we appreciate you taking that time. I'm in California, so it's still early for me.
Oh, it is 6 o'clock or 6:30.
So, but I appreciate that. I love what you said about the balance being non-existent and it being more about harmony, because I think that's when talk to my challengers, because everybody talks about balance, but it's unattainable, and then that's where you feel like you failed. So I think that's been huge for me too. So that was like eye-opening, and I love that. I have a technical question because I do work outside the home, which hopefully someday I'll be able to work Beachbody full time. And I don't have the ability to be on all the time, and yet I follow mostly my upline and coaches that do this full time or that have the ability to do it all throughout their day. I don't, because I'm in an office. I'm a dental hygienist and I see patients. So I can't be on my phone. I can't be, and I was trying to do this. I think I'm finally, it's taken 2 years. I'm a little hard-headed, but finally coming into developing this schedule for myself that I can do and doing little power pockets of time.
Yes.
So, and I'm trying to develop that consistency where I'm doing the same thing on Monday, Tuesday, so that I can follow up with people. So my technical question is, you talk about working from a list. I've got my lists, but I found that now that I'm really working from it, I'll have messaged or liked or commented on somebody's Facebook back in November. And then that's it. I didn't follow up with them. And now it's March and I'm going, oh, I like their thing again. And I go look them up on my list and I'm like, oh, my last communication was November. That's not going to work. So my question is, you said work from your list. So technically speaking, how many people are on your list? Do you kind of connect with them and then try to transition it into an invite and then leave it? Or do you just keep them on your list and add people? How do you work that list from week to week to week?
Okay, so what I do on Sunday nights is I will write down like who I really want to connect with, who I really want on my team, like people like that. So I usually use Instagram. I love Instagram. And I do Facebook as well. So both of those, and I'll just create one list. Now, from that list, those are the only people I'm working on. So what happens is if people reach out to me or if people are liking, commenting on my stuff, great. But these are the people I'm concentrating on, because if I go grab people from here, I'm a hot mess. So I just focus on them. I usually go like and comment on some of their stuff that they're posting. But if they're not, and you know what I like to do too, which is really easy to do. Do you guys know how to create a separate news feed, like a friends list? Well, you would, okay. So I name it my 2018 tribe. So if it's someone on my list that I really want to connect with, and I only do like 10 people a week, because I really think like I'm going to be friends with them. So what I do is I put them in this news feed, right? And every day I go in that news feed and I'm liking and I'm commenting on their stuff. Okay. So this is in my power hour. You know what I can do too, guys? I did a power hour and I explained like exactly what I do, and I could share it with you guys. Yeah, it's really, and you'll get what I'm saying by watching it and doing it with me. Okay. But I go and I like and comment on their stuff. But what I also do during my power hour, and you'll see this in the video, is anyone that likes or comment, even likes on my like couple of my last posts, I actually go to their pages too. And if they are one of the people that I think I want to connect with, I will also put them in that friends list. So what happens is this friends feed or whatever, this 2018 tribe feed, that's what I call it, gets bigger and bigger, and every day I'm in there. So then I get to see who's really like posting and who I'm connecting with. And sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes someone's been in there for like a couple days and I could throw it into a private message saying, oh my gosh, that post that you did on blah, 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 I love it. Or, hey girl, I was just looking at your newsfeed and you're just so motivating. Like, are you a coach too? Or something like that. You know, like I just talk normal. But when I private message people, I'm always taking something that they did. Like, it's not like no connection. It's not like, hey, I don't know you, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's that creepy cold invite that I've never ever been comfortable with, and it's not ever worked for me at all. I loved what you said too about like, what did you say, bless and release or something like that? I'm really learning that, you know, sorry for my dog. He's in his crate, his ear's bleeding and he's running around the house, so he's gonna whine. So I love that you said that, because I'm finding, you know, I've been in this for 2 years and I'm finding that a lot of people are coming back to me that I talked to before. So it really does show. So any newer coaches on here or whatnot, it really does show that you just let it go. If they say no, you just let it go. And that was really hard for me at first, because I would try to focus on those people.
And keep coming back.
Yeah. And then I was just wasting so much time instead of just letting it go and moving on to the next people. And so I'm really kind of coming into that. So I like that you said that, because that was kind of a freeing aha moment as well, just to be able to say, it's okay. And then you just move on to the next person. It helps that I've grown my Facebook by adding people. Yes. Of course, as a new coach, you fear running out of people to talk to, as if that's going to happen, but but you fear it. And I always, and one of the things I wanted to ask is, how do you get over, because something I've been struggling with this last couple weeks has been the trying to prime the pump, or, you know, so that you like get, you know, give them that invite at the right time. And I'm trying to get over that. I don't know how to just throw it out there. Does that make sense? So it's like,
Yes.
I throw out the invites because I'm afraid.
Yeah, so a lot of people have that problem. It's not just you. So I think, I don't know, I just think sometimes, so if I'm in a conversation with someone, and I usually just ask, like, if we're talking about, you know, their kids or whatever, I might just be like, you know what? You would totally love one of my groups. Like, it would be so great for you to be in there. We'd share like family recipes, you know, you would have accountability. I would love to share more info with you. Like something like that. I'm very nonchalant, or like if I haven't talked to them in a couple of weeks, I might just pop back into the message thread and be like, hey, I know last time we talked was a couple weeks ago, but I thought of you because I'm running a group and you would absolutely love it. It's a bunch of moms just hanging out, whatever. Like I kind of do that type of thing, where it's not like anything serious. And then if they want more information, I'm like, great. Do you have any goals that you're working on? Or, you know, is there anything that you really struggle with that you need help in, like any area? So I'm kind of just talking to them like normal. And I usually send a voice message. I think that's the key to my business is talking. Because if I just type it out, people, I don't know, people just don't get the feel.
I don't think as well.
I love that. I love that. Thank you.
Well, and your tip with the video on GoPro was huge. Like I love that you send a personal video.
It's awesome. And you know what, guys, sometimes what I do is like someone's like, oh, you know, I'd love to hear more about the fitness programs that I see you doing on Instagram or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, you totally have to check this out. And I will literally take my phone and record me going through Beachbody On Demand for like a couple minutes. Like it's just very short. Like, hey, this is what you get. It's so awesome. You know, that type of thing.
Nice. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I love it. And Shelly, I know you had a question about, I'm hoping it's the same one I had.
Well, I was going to ask, you were saying that you create a separate feed. Is that the one you were going to ask, Cindy?
Yes. That's what I want to know. Like that just like blew my brain a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
It would be a game changer for me to know how to do a separate feed to where like if I have a list of 10 people that I'm going to be, you know, working on that week, how do I put them in a separate feed? And then my second question is, and you can probably wrap this all up in one nice package, is do you make a new list each week?
Yeah, so 10 people a week, but and I just add it to I use a notebook, guys. This is seriously not like, it's so bad. And so, like what I will do with that list, and I usually use a highlighter for people that I really think would be an amazing coach. So I'll highlight them. And then for people that are just challengers, I'll put like just a C or something. Sometimes it really depends on the day. I used to I would take a notebook, split it up into 3 sections, and I would do coach, challenger, and like then just, you know, people I'm meeting. But I found that when I write down every single person's name, I lose track. So like, for not like, you'll see in my on Instagram, and I, you know, have I like and comment and all of that on people's news, on people's stuff. I won't write them down. I only write them down if I start the conversation and you know, with people. So it just works for me. But yes, I do 10 people a week, and say like 3 or 4 out of that whole of the 10, like they're not posting anything. It's really kind of hard to see what their vibe is or whatever. Then I would just replace them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you don't really have to harp on, you know, holding people in. But the newsfeed thing. So if you go on YouTube and you just type in create create newsfeed Beachbody, something like that. There's so many videos. So, and then it's really easy to add people to it. Really simple. But I think you have to create it from your computer and not your phone, but you can add people from your phone.
That's amazing. Like that was a mind blow moment for me a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, that's going to be a game changer for me, because then I'm not going to feel like I'm having to go and look them up individually like I have been doing. But I love your list idea, because basically what I've been doing is, I'm still working through, I'm almost done with my warm market. So it's kind of like I'm trying to reach out to other people, which obviously is hard, but more and more people are starting to notice my stuff, which is really cool. But the fact that you just do like a small attainable 10-person list, I mean that just like that hit me right over the head, because now I can make a list of 10 people and I can focus on them this week. And then my thought when you were talking about that, I want to make sure I understand this correctly. I'm sorry for taking up time, but maybe somebody else has this question too. So I've got 10 people, and let's say maybe 3 people off that list, they're interacting with me. So then you would keep them on that list and then maybe add 7 more people because the other 7 were like duds.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, for sure. You never want to like just rely on them. But these 10 people are not just people that I'm throwing on my list to hit that 10 mark. Like these are people that I really am like, wow, this girl's awesome. I really want to build a friendship. And like, I really want her to know that I care. So I'm spending time on our page. And usually I'll take it into a private message either that following week or even at the end of the week. Like it depends. Like sometimes, they're not posting anything, so I really can't message them. What am I going to message them about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all depends on the situation, but I always feel like the quality of your conversations is so much more important than blasting out like 50, hey girl, what do you do? How you doing? Things.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
You're awesome. Oh, girl, you gave us such good nuggets. I don't want to take up any more of your time. You have a sweet family that needs you, and
they're sleeping.
You need to go to bed because you're an early morning person. I'm like, I am looking at my, bedtime is approaching for all of us, except Melinda, who's in California. It's sunshine, and
I know, right?
But
I'm getting ready to head to Bible study.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. But Tara, like, I cannot thank you enough. Like, just so amazing, such good nuggets and just such good wisdom on really keeping balance and really making it about your family and, and really making it a family thing. It's just, I think that's so vital. And so I just thank you so much. And I know you had mentioned sharing that power hour.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, that would be amazing. However is easiest to get that to me. I'll share that with the teams. But I just thank you so much. And thank TJ. Like I just heard his testimony, you guys sharing your testimony in that, Truth and Power group. Like these two, you guys, they're just on fire. And it's awesome.
Like seriously, God, like working through us, it's just amazing. Let me just say that.
It's pretty cool. And I have to say, I'm, like I said, I am a full-fledged stalker, but I'm not a creepy stalker. Like it's, in an encouraging way. But I saw that TJ got into a school that he wanted to.
Yes.
So
so let me, if I can just share that quick.
Yes.
This is like what this business can do for you. So yes, I left my teaching career, which is fantastic and amazing. And I was able to be home with my 2 boys. My daughter was already in kindergarten, but my husband is leaving his teaching career to go into ministry. He is going to be going to school next year. We're moving from Connecticut to Florida, and we're selling our dream home. Like totally, this is totally God thing, because we're just bye-bye. We're going down there. We're probably going to rent an apartment, and we are going to my husband's going to go to school for a year, and then we don't know where God's going to take us. But this is because he opened the door of coaching. Like this, none of this could have happened.
So cool. It's so cool. So girls, chase after the purpose God has for you in this. I know it took me a minute, at the beginning when I first started my journey, I knew that God had placed it in my lap, and I got distracted for 2 years trying to figure out how to do it as a business, and realize, like you had said, like one of the first things you said is I didn't realize how big God really was.
Yeah.
And the last month, like I get all teary because he is revealing to me that vision he gave me 2 years ago is, it's coming back because I've given it back to him, and it's not my plan. It's not my purpose, but he gets all the glory, and it is an awesome, amazing thing to be a part of. And I'm just so thankful that our paths have crossed because of this. Like, our paths wouldn't have crossed otherwise. So I'm just very thankful for all these faces on the screen that I would not know otherwise. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank TJ for giving up his wife time for us. And just thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. It was so much fun. Thank you, Cindy. You're the best.
Oh, so are you. And I'm sure I will be messaging you more.
All right, girlie. I'll send it over tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight, being away from your families. And I'm just really glad that you got to hear her speak. She is something special. So thank you guys for taking your time. And I will definitely share that video when she shares it with me. So you guys will be in touch. Have a good night. Bye.